So here what I'm doing is I'm trying to show a figure that is balanced, and balance is really just a matter of having weight distributed evenly over a point on the ground. And if it's not distributed evenly, if there's more of your weight pushed to one side than the other, then eventually you'll fall over. And that's what I've got going on with that second figure. He's really not balanced. His legs are not quite underneath him, so he just doesn't look like he's grounded on the ground the way that he needs to be. And that's a very common problem that I see with people's artwork, that they just don't have the kind of uh, balance to their figures that they need. Um, I feel like I'm really not commenting quite as much as I could about it. Actually, before I talk about that, quickly, this figure here, this is going to be more of a female figure, and what I'm doing with her balance is I'm angling her body so she's got a curvature to her body, and so I'm actually reflecting. If and I'll do that here. If I'm going to draw the chest pointed in one if I'm going to draw the chest angled in one direction, I've got to angle the pelvis in the other direction, and that gives the body a nice flow, and it also gives the body a balance. And you can see this figure that I'm drawing right here. It looks very, very feminine. She's got wider hips than I would draw for a male figure, but even with if this were a male figure, he would look very flowing and a little feminine, based on the fact that I'm drawing along this line. Now here I'm actually doing the opposite to what I did earlier on. From the side, I'm angling the chest inward and the pelvis outward, and you can see it gives a very different dynamic to that figure than what I had before. And it hunches him over just a little bit. Um, it really makes him look very different than the figure that had the chest thrust backwards and was a little bit more regal that way. That pose there looks a little bit more laid back